And we are live here on Plus One EXP's Roll for Content channel. My name is Tony Vicinda. You can find me at Tony Vicinda across pretty much any social media platform. Plus One is an interesting little brand that multi-classed in tabletop game design, beard, and skincare alchemy, and of course the Bardic College of Content Creation. Our mom and dad are so proud. Well, we'll get to whether our mom is proud in a second. Zinequesting is a series we're doing every day that we possibly can of February and a little bit into March as we talk about all the magnificent and amazing Zine Quest projects, which are small little RPGs that are out there right now. We are currently topping out at a little over 300 projects. I think we're going to get up to 350 and may pop over 400 before the end of Zine Quest. That's my guess. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I know someone's watching out there. Maybe you're paying attention, maybe you're not. But if you want to tell us who you are, where you're watching from in the chat down below, I'd love to say hello to you. But I'm going to keep on talking about these beautiful zines that we've got right now. This is the newest section on Zine Quest that we see on the screen right now. Our project, which was not previously on there, now is down below the load more section. It finally got up. It's got the Zine Quest tag. We're in the mix. I was hoping it was going to be a project they love. We're not quite there yet. We're climbing up on that $3,000 stretch goal, but we'll talk about that in a second. But this is where all the newest projects are. So if I have a little bit of extra time, we'll pop back over here and look at some of these projects. Some of them are already on our list, but I took recommendations. If you have a Zine Quest project you want us to look at, let me know in the chat wherever you're watching. Super excited. First and foremost is Repugnant. It's our RPG. Like I said, we're closing in on a $3,000 stretch goal. We just got a shout out on Dicebreaker. Thanks, Wheels, so much. Even if we were in the speedrun section there at the end, I know what that feeling is like. But if you haven't backed this yet, I'd really appreciate it if you did it even at $1. But if you want to do it at $300 and get every single thing we're going to release over the course of the entire campaign, add-ons, everything else, custom character art, you can do that also too. I won't be upset about that. You push us right over the top of that goal there. That said, we'll come back to this a little bit more at the end. I'm going to talk about a couple things, do a couple reveals as I always do. Another project where the creator wouldn't mind if you backed him, even just for $1 or £1. We've already talked about it in the stream, is Shared World Building's zine set, Have You Heard About the Beast and We Sailed Beyond. I did this awesome interview with Matt Sanders, the creator of these two world building zines, earlier today. You can check that out on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/plus1exp. But you didn't come here to hear about these two campaigns. You came here to hear about new zines. These first couple recommendations, I believe, come from Richard. Richard is got a game up right now that we're going to talk about in just 1 second. He didn't even plug his own game. He just plugged other people's games. This is Denial and Yearning, a trashy lesbian romance novel game. And who doesn't love a trashy romance novel? I'm a big fan of lit RPG. If you don't know what lit RPG is, it's games that have heavy themes of gamification or RPG in them. A lot of them are really bad, and a lot of them are just romance novels in disguise. I didn't discover that until like 5 or 6 books in, but there's a lot of them. So this is Denial and Yearning, a member of the Soft Chaos anthology. Soft Chaos member Allison Cole is known for creating quirky game things with queer themes. This zine is no exception. She reached out to all corners of the internet. Okay, her trashy lesbian girlfriend, her DMs, and one really gay message board, and rallied a ragtag bunch of creative mavericks to pull off what can only be described as the best worst trashy lesbian romance novel, The Game. The world is an assignment. The assignment would... Okay, so remember those kids in class remember those kids in class that complicated your group projects? You know, the ones, instead of just making the assignment they wanted to make, the world the assignment would live in, the characters of the world that would make the assignment, the marketing campaign for the assignment, and the assignment itself. Now these kids are adults. I love the self-awareness of this. I love the way this creator and this team understands who they are and what they did. And that they've kind of formed a little bit of collective about this. There's a story within a story. The specifics, here's where we go. 32-page zine, storytelling game, no game master required, no prep time, read the rules and have at it, playable in an evening, 2 to 4 hours, though it may take longer. If you make the novel cover a true work of art, no role-playing experience required. If you've read a romance novel, you can play this game. If you're out there in the chat, let me know if you've read a romance novel, what your favorite romance novel is. And we've got some digital rewards here. Get a copy of it. Trashy lesbian date. Here's the team. I love it when people show who they are. I love the personality of these pictures. Allison is doing a great job here. Excellent, excellent. I just love the flavor on these. This is so good. State of the game. Excellent campaign. Really phenomenal. I think we are going to make this our $28, 28 days pledge for the day. I'll go ahead and do it $2 because it's Canadian and that's not quite the same as a normal dollar. However, if you're not familiar with $28, 28 days, here's what $28, 28 days is. It's a concept of backing a small creator at any level, even if it's just $1. That helps people. Is it $1, which no creator minds? It helps the Kickstarter algorithm discover them a little bit more intentionally. And then when you share it on social media, it helps other people discover that project. It's a great thing you can do for any creator at any level, and I would highly encourage people to go out there and back a project a day at that level. Let's keep on going, though. Against the Dark Conspiracy is a tabletop role-playing game where competent characters confront a shadowy supernatural conspiracy and its venal human pawns. Venal. It's created by Alan Rees, who I am connected with somewhere on social media. Against the Dark Conspiracy is a tabletop role-playing game for 2 to 5 players and one game master about capable professionals confronting a shadowy supernatural conspiracy before it comes for them or those they care about. I like this premise. It's a rules-light supernatural thriller game built with mechanics from Cthulhu Dark, a free introduction, an earlier iteration of some of the game's mechanics work out in Alien Dark. Show your work, folks. Excellent job linking out there. You get the first 3 session series using the current play test packet of Against the Dark Conspiracy here. Here's some actual play links. Find Alan on Twitter. Oh, Gauntlet. That's where I know Alan from, is Gauntlet. We're both members of the Gauntlet community, and we've interacted around this game a lot. Alan, I'm super excited that I was able to cover your game today, and you should have reminded me already and harassed me until I did. You can also find the design diary they wrote for the Gauntlet community blog here. Gauntlet's phenomenal. If you're not familiar with what they do, they kind of grew out of the PBTA movement, but they do a lot of support for a lot of great games. They have a publishing arm now, and some of my most anticipated projects are all what we would call Gauntleteers, people who are members of the Gauntlet community, as I am one of. So please go out there and check out the Gauntlet. Dive in and see all the good stuff that they're doing there. So we are going to back this. We are going to back it. It's overseas. Oh, wait, hold on. $6 digital enhancement. $70 is a big jump. Join me in the shadows. Get the zine plus PDF forms. Interesting. PDF and drive-through coupon for print and ship. That's what I want. Okay. So digital enhancement is what level we're going to do it at. That's going to give us a coupon for later on for print on demand through then. Let's watch the video.
Against the Dark Conspiracy is a rules-light supernatural thriller role-playing game in which player characters confront a shadowy supernatural conspiracy behind much of what is wrong with the world. Player characters are capable professionals, though they may have a checkered past and a variety of reasons for getting involved in the fight. In play, they'll gather intel and then they'll spend it to either plan operations or
It's a good image.
powers and weaknesses of their supernatural foes. When they're in a hole, they'll call on their network of contacts to get the equipment, the expertise that they need during an operation. All the while, they're trying to avoid the full attention of the conspiracy falling on them. Because if it does, they'll find that their networks degrade, be driven into hiding, leaving the characters on.
This is all good. I like it. It feels like the voice is timed out to the image as opposed to the other way around. I would love it to be about 20% quicker. But I love the use of the images here, and I love the pairing of the images with the with what is being said. Like there's a good visual representation piece happening there. Alan, you did a great job. I remember anytime we give criticism, like whatever, it's what we think. It doesn't matter. We're only covering games that we're excited to talk about or that other people are excited for us to talk about. I'm not going to put out a game on here so I can blast it. I'm excited about this game. I've been excited about this game. And it had been on my list to check out more in the future. So I'm super excited to be able to share it with you guys. If you have not backed it out yet, please go. It's so close to funding. It's got 92 backers and just a few more days to go. So please check out It's a dark conspiracy. Oh, this is all the stuff we opened up. You can see all these different plays and everything else. Hey, I've played with some of these folks before over on the Gauntlet. All right, Creature Feature, about halfway to funding right now. It's a 3-game bundle in zine format celebrating horror, monsters, and the creation thereof. So we've got a little bit of a world-building game here by Follow the Leader, Sarah Gates. What is this Creature Feature you speak of? I'm calling the Zinequest project a Creature Feature because it collects 3 of my small GM-less TTRPGs that have to do with creature, monster, and eldritch terrors. In the case of 2 of them, horror. 2 of the games are explicitly about the interaction of the monsters and humans, while the 3rd game used to create a monster if you wish. I've always been fascinated with horror and monster-themed things. This Zinequest seemed like a perfect way to share the fascination with others in zine format. A little bit of definition of each one of the games. That In Your Image one is actually the one I am most interested in, the creator one. I want to know more about the other 2, but that's the one I think is the hook for me. I love world-building pieces. I love creation processes and tools. Great layout of the funds. You don't have to do a visual. This is actually a little bit more detailed breakdown than we currently get. And I like the look of it. It gives me a very clear understanding of where everything's going. The project team, again, I always encourage people to show, but this linking out to work is another great way to do show if you don't want to do images. And then Escapes, it does a feature on themselves specifically. No stretch goals, except they're at 3,500. We'll write a quick start scenario for you to use with the game. And then here are some of that team. Jeff Stormer, who I love. I'm sure the other people are great also. Ben, his name is very familiar too. I'll look at their work later because I want to know how I know them. What is estimated timeline, risks, and things? Very good, simple project. Shows what you can do with just a single image and some good informational layout. I'm a big fan of it. I'm going to click follow to remind me to come back and look at this project when it's closer to being done. And then again, great way to show your work. I can look at in your image. I can buy the digital version right now. I can know that it's a thing. Crush. 2 micro RPGs in one. I love the artwork on this one. The image on this one caught my eye yesterday, and so I added it to our list to promote today. I didn't want to come back to it. We got the Jenga tower here, so this gives us a little bit of a sense of both the artwork and the mechanical reality all in one image. We've got this big kind of cartoon comic booky feel to the rest of it. We got the artist credited right up front. Kaiju size may vary, batteries not included. Josephine, I'm not going to try the last name, a non-binary Chicago-based creator. The monster has taken over the city. Massive, it smashes through buildings and destroys everything in its path. The 2 of you escaped this far, and possibly you will die in the next 5 minutes, but before you do so, you have a secret to tell. So this is Crush. Crush encompasses 2 micro RPG zine offerings about what you need to get out in the open before being crushed by a giant kaiju. One component is a solo RPG game, and the other is played by 2 or more players. The physical rulebook is 16 pages interior, covering both games. The multiplayer game requires a tumbling wooden block tower, and the solo notebook journal requires a journal or a notebook. I love that this has a kaiju romance book. Let's see. The ground rumbles and the buildings shake beneath you. You have look in your companion's eyes, and you know this might be the last conversation you ever have. You have to tell them that maybe just hear what they have to say first. 2-player games will take place over mere minutes or can last an hour. So these are both very short, quick games, which I love seeing more of. They are secrets you have carried for years and have sorely regretted not telling. I love this art. Like, look at this art for this header. It's a very smart way to do things. All these kind of miniature people, this kind of toy play and feel. I love getting to see the artwork. I think this is I may talk about this game again tomorrow. I love the art that they pulled together for this. It's very cool. More art by Joey, custom Crush stickers for everyone. We're going to hit remind on this one also too. I do want to try to remember to come back and cover it again tomorrow on our artisan craft feature. That's the one we do with Lloyd on Thursdays, where we just talk about the art and some of the Zinequest projects. But yeah, if you're out there watching, if you have a project you want us to talk about, let me know. I picked a couple of just some of the most recent ones to pop out also, and then ones that people recommended to me online as well. So the Inn in the Forest, virtual tabletop support. Actually, that's what made me click on this one. I want to know what virtual tabletop support looks like. It's compatible with DCC RPG. From the mind of Daniel J. Bishop comes a dangerous adventure that pits players against monsters, nature, and even time itself. You spy a semi-ruined inn on the ground, on the road ahead of you, promising shelter from the dark woods that close in around you. But the inn is not deserted, haunted by the phantoms of the past, creatures in the present, and the malignant entity with dark designs for the future. You slip between all three timelines. As these timelines merge and horrors from the past slip into the present, you find yourself confronted by the dark and wild future that you may not be able to avoid. Worse, a future you have helped to create. This is very cool. This feels like I think it's just called Dark. It's a Netflix series where there's this kind of time travel element to it, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. Then that's the flavor. Here's the pitch. Then in the Force is a DCC RPG long format time traveling horror adventure by Daniel J. Bishop, heavily influenced by the darker side of the Brothers Grimm, the Moody Ghost, and the tales of M.R. James and William Hope Hodgson. As a player, you take part in the unwilling traveler seeking shelter for the night, whether drawn direction by the lost magic of Zuber or Hexmaster, or following up on the rumors of the innkeeper's dark practices. As the judge, you'll be running a unique adventure where time is not static. Phantom shifts allow you to tell the story of the inn during its heyday as well as its current state. This is a very cool concept. It's an interesting concept, especially for DCC. I'd love to hear from the creator why that system, other than the fact that they may want to run multiple players at the same time. And so, yeah, I'd just be interested in that. Oh man, I didn't undo my system audio at all. If you're out there watching, let me know if you've been able to hear me this entire time. I think you've been able to hear me, but not the video when we were watching the video. I'm a dummy. This is a bad stream. You guys hate me. A lot of content list. Very cool. Love the art on this. What I want to know is what did it mean by virtual? Here we go. Virtual tabletop or convention play pack, PNG. If you order the VTT convention play pack, you'll receive the pack of digital resources for the inn and the Force that you can immediately use with Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, Foundry, or any other virtual tabletop of choice. Interesting. It's very cool. You got to get up to that $20 level to get it. I'm going to hit follow on this. It's got 15 days to go. That's not allowed. I won't tell, though. Chronicles of the Space Jammer. So Richard, who recommended a few of these games at the very beginning, this is Richard's game. Richard, up in Brooklyn. We actually played Chronicles of the Space Jammer. I have a polished review of this game coming out later on this week because it is part of the way through, and I need to get that done in the next couple of days. One of Richard's games last year, Barrowkeep, was absolutely phenomenal. I'd say one of the breakaway surprise successes of Zinequest 2. Richard has brought back this year Chronicles of the Space Jammer, which is a Traveler SRD game with support for Troika. So you can play it in Traveler, which if you've never played Traveler is such a phenomenal system where you have this kind of rich mini game for character creation process that lets you kind of release your character into the world, already knowing some of their backstory, but it's kind of determined by your choices and some rolls of the dice. In traditional Traveler, you can die during character creation process. I know for Richard's, it's a little bit gentler than that, but it's still a really enjoyable process. I got to do it both for actual play, and then I got the more complete rules with some of the magic and other rules. But instead of spaceships, you're space jamming. So think Spelljammer influence, which is an area of OSR culture I feel like hasn't been explored enough. So these are giant pirate ships in space. You're on the comet city of Enoch. You're navigating the city. You're exploring the spheres that you're passing by. It is a 2d6 system. In a lot of ways, Traveler feels like the precursor to PBTA, with 8+ being the threshold for success. Stats being a little bit more complicated. You don't have the kind of pastiche playbook tropes, but it's really, really, really phenomenal system that has had a massive amount of influence on tabletop culture, and Richard has brought all those things back and a really amazing feel for the cover. The art is absolutely amazing, and he has done a support book for Troika already on this, and so that's going to be like kind of a part of the bundle. So you get Enoch's Wake, and then you get the Troika support and Volume 1 add-on. There's going to be more and more and more in this series by Richard. I'm super excited about this project. You guys should go check it out if you haven't yet. I'm going to come back and back it. I got to look at exactly what all little bits I want to get in that, so I'm just going to leave it up for after the campaign. Lifted. Somebody had asked me to cover this one on Twitter. I believe the creator themselves, Mad J, asked me. I don't know who this Mad J is, but I like the look of this opening cover. There's a lot going on here, so I get a sense of some kind of genetic or cellular realities here. We've got Lifted, which makes me think, with everything that's going on, including kind of this, I would say, kind of Akira feeling art going on here. There's these mind powers. This individual with lightning coming out of her hand, that we're going to be talking about some genetically engineered and uplifted individuals. Let's find out if I'm right, because I always love it when I'm wrong. Lifted is a super setting, selecting humans who have been lifted or become superpowered beings by non-human intelligences known for unknown purposes. Project OWL collects intel on these lifted, watching, learning, and without ever interfering or being exposed. But now the lifted manifestations are happening in the public worldwide. Project OWL are the experts, and they can no longer sit on the sidelines. It's a love letter to X-Men, Wildcats, Planetary, and Authority. These are the comics I grew up with and grew old with. I love the underdog struggles, the soap opera drama, the one-liners, and the reboots. Champions Now RPG is the core that they'll use for the Lifted universe. You need a copy of Champions Now RPG to play. So this is a supplement. I've not played Champions, I don't think. I should play Champions. Matt J, if you're watching this now or later and you want to come on and run your game for me and run some Champions for me, I would love to have you on a stream. I'd love to talk about Project OWL. I'm jamming on the art and the theme and the concept for this. The Uplift books that were a speculative sci-fi about other races helping humans evolve also feel like a good touchstone for this from a narrative standpoint, not from a feel standpoint. It was more of a hard sci-fi take on things, but I love the kind of feel of these unknown forces that are doing something. I usually don't go in heavily on supplements. I usually back them at the digital level. I am pretty intrigued by the art here. Here's a picture of, and again, excellent, right? Show, don't tell. This is Mad J, right? Jamal Mad J, freelance TTRPG writer, Supers and Cortex Prime. Jay, we got to get you on sometime. Play some stuff. We've also got some other members of the team here. I love the kind of dossier feel from Project OWL about all these individuals. It looks very cool. I'm very excited about all that. And Matt J is host of Diceology, which I need to apparently check out because this looks excellent. It's just fine one. I think we're going to go in at physical on this. Let me see what do these higher levels tell me. Super PDF. Lifted team ups. Limited variant print. Okay, we're going to come back and look at this. I think we're just going to go with physical on this. Jay, Killer Project. Thank you so much for asking me to talk about it. The Well, you know who backed this? Philip Reed. Philip Reed, and you might see his name on my screen a whole lot. He's somebody I follow, CEO of Steve Jackson Games, but also one of the most prolific content creators I know. Does about a project a month on Kickstarter just for fun, in addition to all the business stuff they do. Had backed this. I saw it. This image right here. I don't know what this game is about, but this image caught my eye. This is an excellent kind of interest-evoking picture. Narrative, prep-friendly, tactile, long-form, rules-light, role-playing zine. It's only about halfway to its funding goal. It's got the entire month to go. The Well is a role-playing zine with a complete rules-light, narrative-focused game and the ingredients for a long-form story campaign. We set out to create a rule set with a few key ingredients. We wanted something tactile with pieces players can hold instead of dice. Minimalist with rules that get out of the way. Prep-friendly for GMs who like thinking ahead and being surprised at the table. I was wondering what prep-friendly meant, and that's actually kind of a cool thing. If you like thinking ahead but still want to be surprised at the table, this is a system for you. That's cool. Each game is driven by unique story tokens that the GM and the players contribute to a shared pool mixed together with larger tokens that represent the balance of power in the world. The GM takes some time between sessions to link ideas and inspiration to each of the unique story tokens. During play, the GM can see what the players have these tokens in hand and quickly review their notes so that they then see so that when the story token is played, they can weave in connected ideas. That one play might trigger a subtle ongoing effect, a surprising twist, or a world-changing event. Okay, this is cool. So this is a level of artifaction, which is like you're putting things into this pot in the middle. You've got these tokens, you're pulling them out as part of the play, and those tokens become things that you can evoke in play. Sean, this is a cool idea. The rules are completed and tested. We're adding examples of play. I want to know if you can play remotely because I want to play this with you. I'm just very excited by this concept. Got some stretch goals on here. This is a very light campaign. I would love to see a little bit of crafting tips. We're gonna back this, and I'm gonna reach out too because I like the idea. We've got an early bird here, which I think is always a weird way to go. This is too cheap for your zine. Charge more money. I want to pay you more, which is fine. I'm just gonna get this level and hold it in my hands. And that shipping is very cheap also. That's not a complaint. I like seeing people be able to take care of their stuff. We'll keep the cost terminal. Use 4 digital copies as well. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe I might come back and go in at that higher level and get numerous copies because I want to see this this game fund. This is a cool game. This is a cool concept that's doing something really unique with creating the play structure around these unique story tokens that you add to the middle. And I'm into that. So I'm gonna make sure I hit remind me just in case I don't want to forget to back this one. Adam Bell asked me to cover this one. Was very confused why it hasn't funded yet. I remember looking at this one a couple of days ago. And
come with us on the scurry over sandy beaches, through swaying meadows, and atop Scottish mountains. Live as a beast, join a guild, and choose which tags define you. Are you a jam-making pine marten, or perhaps a hedgehog with a mean right hook? Go on adventures that gather speed to a photo finish. Good or bad, everything will wrap up in under 2 hours. Immerse yourself in the world of the bristly woods with a 3-part campaign. Ask an ancient tortoise for their wisdom. Seek half-forgotten titan lightning rods, and discover the voice on the mountain. Share an experience across boundaries. Let the arcane aroma of handcrafted candles draw you into your scurry, provided by Willowix.
Interesting.
Just don't forget, every scurry is laced with danger. Something awful might be around the corner.
Okay. We give things a minute. Because that's how long people pay attention for it. At a minute, did you notice what happened? That tone change, right? So that it sounds like it's winding down. And they cue back in to regather your interest. Let's see if this. Let's see what the
Scurry will
payoff
be
here
funding
is.
from the 15th of February through to the 28th. This is your chance to support illustrators, editors, and candlestick makers during the UK's 3rd lockdown. Thank you very much.
Okay, I don't know that had any kind of payoff, but it's a good way to re-engage as a complete tonal shift to something else, because that did it for me, and that got me to the end. I mean, whether somebody watches your entire video is not the question. Whether they're going to back is. I like the fact that they have chosen, if they're going to include the zine quest, to not take up extra space with it, but to pop it up at the top. A game that gathers speed. The concept, okay, a couple of things about this one already. Interested about the candle thing, right? Eris, you've missed everything. No, but thanks for hopping on earlier, and thanks for hopping back on right now. We've talked about a couple different campaigns. I mean, so you have missed stuff. We talked about, real quick, since you asked, Repugnant, my game. We talked about shared world building, a game we've talked about already, but I wanted to mention again. And then we have talked about, let's see what we've got here. Quick recap. Denial and Yearning, a trashy lesbian romance novel game. Against the Dark Conspiracy, which I played the video for, but didn't have the sound on, so no one heard it. They did some really great job of showing your work. Alan is a member of the Gauntlet community. I'm very excited about Alan's game and want to see it fun. Well, look at that face. How could you not back this game? And has written something about it on the Gauntlet blog. Creature Feature, a 3-part game, 2 of which are about monsters interacting with you, 1 of which is about creating monsters themselves. Crush, 2 marker RPGs, and 1, the art on this is phenomenal. 1's a solo RPG. 1 is a 2 to however many player RPG. Both play very quickly. The Inn in the Forest, which has some feelings of dark, time travel across multiple timelines. Interestingly, DCC, and they did virtual tabletop support. I want to know why DCC from the creator. Maybe they'll tell me one day. Chronicles of the Space Jammer, which is Traveler SRD. This is a game that everybody should be paying attention to from a design perspective. Also, Traveler is just delightful. And then we talked about Lifted, which is Mad J, who I've just discovered I want to find out way more about all of Mad J's work. But I love this opening image. I love these kind of cell connections. I love the way this evokes art. It's a supplement for champions, which I have not played, and now want to get Jay to potentially come on and teach me how to play. And so that's what we've talked about so far. Oh no, we talked about the well also. This is a really cool game that you build a set of custom tokens that you draw out of. Each of the tokens mean different things, and the GM can think ahead and make notes about what the different tokens mean, but players can contribute these kind of unique tokens to the thing. I want to know so much more about this. This doesn't tell me, and I want to know if I can play this online, because I want to play this game, the well. And we're talking about Scurry right now, and why Scurry hasn't funded. Dungeons on a Dime has a huge following. It's a phenomenal set of creators. It's a quick play, 2 hours. They did something really smart with their video at about the minute mark to re-engage. They're also got candles. They've got candles. Lifted is interesting, Eris. They've got candles. So how do I play? Tell me how to play here. The Scent of Adventures. So here's the quick play. We'll go look at that. So this zine comes packed with everything you'll need to make your own beast, as well as a trio of adventures and a darling campaign called In the Wake of Titans. Dive into the bristly woods on a world long abandoned by humans, packed full of charming guilds, ancient ruins, and beasts, both rare and elusive. Okay, check out this layout. Boom, boom, boom. But here's the thing. It comes with candles. And the candles are molded to match the thing. And it's weird, but I also love it. Oh man, look at this. Like this. So, okay, here's my complaint. I love so much of this. I love the video. I love everything else. I love Dungeons on a Dime. I like these headers. There's so much cooler art going on down here. This picture should be way higher up, because this is an awesome, beautiful, gorgeous layout. This is potentially the best graph I have seen this entire Zinequest. And that's a weird thing to say. Like, it's not something you're going to pop on your Zinequest pledge page, +1's favorite graph of all Zinequest. But this is a cool graph, and let's mention that, and let's just pause and appreciate it for a second. Printing Willow wicks for production of the candles will start up cost for Will's business afterwards. Okay, so this is somebody's business startup also too. Who we are. Brian Tyrell, a founder of Beast Fables. Will Cook, who's Willow Wicks. He's into role-playing games, loves the delight of his friends, wants to make candles. As somebody who makes beard balms inspired by classic tabletop culture, I'm 100% about supporting some Willow Wicks. Safety measures in there, which is an important thing people should include, like how to do safety. That's cool. Let's see their levels. The Tentative Sniff, Skitter, Scramble, and Scurry. First batch Willow Wicks scented candles. What is the shipping on this? It doesn't tell me. I'm gonna have to come back and look at that later. Because I'm in. I think I'm in for a candle on this one. This is Scurry. Yeah. Adam asked me earlier why it hasn't funded yet. I'll be honest. I think if this page was higher up, if this image of this layout was higher up, this zine would be doing better. That would be my number one piece of advice. I would put it at the furthest down. I would put it right here, right under what is Scurry, so that people can see it. I'm going to click remind me on this project. We're going to come back to it. Okay. I was looking at this one earlier to get a feel of it. I'm going to say Daemonology is how you pronounce this one, I think. I love Scurry's logo design. The basic rule set for becoming a 17th century intermediary in the deadly dice game between the devil and King James. There's a lot of text on this page. It took me a lot to get through it, and I'm still not 100% sure because I was going quickly about what it's about. So I also feel like that's in part because this is a cool accessibility thing. Hold on. That's cool. That's a cool accessibility thing right here to make sure anybody can read it and doesn't have to worry about the text. I feel like other people who are not dumb Americans might better understand this project than I will. The year is 1606. The unified kingdoms of the British Isles are bound for hysteria for the devil and his minions, fueled by the paranoid King James the fourth and first. The year is 1862. Two academics write about secret inquisition alive at the time of King James. Previously lost to history, the Secret Order's goal was stemming the tide of Hell's influence before the brutal witch trials, which authorized by the crown to take innocent lives. I got to drink something. The year is this year. In Demonology, you play as secret inquisitors, apostate mages, and smooth-talking criminals tracking through an alternate history to release those trapped by the demon's pack before their actions bring the dual tyranny of hell and the British monarchy to bear. So the art in this is excellent. Excellent. It's using a uniquely bastardized D6 dice pool system set against the age of hysteria and witch hunts and Jacobean. It's a high magic plane crossing alternate history of malicious devilry, furious tension, and relentless campery. Your anti-establishment inquisitors, this is a cool line, raising against the rising public fear to catch the servants of the devil before the king's forces start hurting the innocent. That's a cool theme. I love this image. It's New School Revolution, D6 dice system, taking cues from Powered by the Apocalypse on one side and Burning Wheel on the other. Cool. Continuing to love the artwork here. We continue to join us in traveling back in time to be a thorn in the side of King James I and the 15th. This is some very cool things to it. The basic forms of the rules in PDF will be free, which they already are, but this Kickstarter lets you have the artifact and extra content ahead of time. You can listen to our podcast. Excellent. We're talking about the mechanics. I will do that later. You get a field guide, some advanced field guide, printed field guide, soft cover, Demonology advanced field guides. Layout here looks good. Cover looks excellent. Hand it to me. What is it? You think it's the thing? Could be the thing. Let's find out. Jacobean? Jacobean. Not Jacobean? This is for me, not you. Go away. I don't remember. Oh, I know what this is. Okay. No, it's for me. It's not for you.
There's another thing.
The folks at Cyanide and Happiness sent me a copy of Joking Hazard.
Cyanide and Happiness.
Guy was giving them some advice on RPGs the other day. Cool. Back to this game. I love the art here. I love this. Look at this. Printed on cloth. Okay, I'm going to go somewhere between the 16 and the 32 level here. Probably the 16 because of everything else, but I may come back and look at that 32 level. I didn't know if this game was for me when I started looking at it. The parlor game of the most excellent demonology with full directions in a handsome book. Excellent. I love this. I do love this logo work. Like, this is a style that I'm super down for. Jacobean, not Jacobean, Eris, for real? Are you sure? I believe you. I doubt myself all the time. Hey, by the way, if you haven't yet, Repugnant RPG is up right now. Even if you've already backed it, let's see if it's gone up anymore while we've been on stream. Does anybody love me? No. My mom won't back this project. My mom backs and supports every single thing that I do. She told me this game is too gross, and she won't back it. I should actually whip that up into a quote and put it on the page. So that everybody knows that my mom won't back my game. You're British? Well, then you win. You win. You're right. I already assumed you were right, and I was not because I'm a dumb American. And I want to Francify everything as a way to just, give my finger to the crown because we're still obsessed with that. And so, however, if you want to back it at $1, that's great. If you want to back it at $300 and get every single thing we're going to make for the campaign, plus custom character art and everything else, that's great. But anywhere in between, or just sharing it online if the game's not for you, would be appreciated. If you see games you like that you want them to exist in the world, please, please, please share them with other people, even if they're not for you, even if your budget's tapped out. Right now, Texas and California and parts of Portland are winter wonderlands, and people are really struggling to even have the internet. And there are some creators who have been worried about their games because of that. Hopefully everything will be fine. I'm not worried. Like, we've funded, and I wouldn't be worried if we hadn't, about those individuals. But also, if you know somebody in Texas or Northern California or in Portland, check in on them and see how they're doing. Iris also gives their middle finger to the crowd. So we're all in good company. Good. I appreciate it. But I will trust you that it's Jack Obian. But if I was in France, it'd be Jacobian. So, I love when you guys recommend games that I get to go check out and be delighted by. And Daemonology is one that I was just like, it looks interesting, but I don't know. But I love some of those little elements. I loved, I was really thankful to Richard for recommending, which one was it? Against the Dark Conspiracy. That looks dope. And I want to support Alan also too. And then again, also somebody had recommended, what was it? Oh, it was they themselves. Matt J had recommended Lifted, and Lifted looks very, very good. And so I'm going to reach out to Matt J about running some champions for me coming on stream. See if they'd be willing to do that. Looks like a good beard underneath there. I think we can work with that. And so, if there's anything else anybody wants to question about, any campaigns you feel like I need to cover, anything you want me to? Oh no, I forgot one more. It's the last day. It's the last day for Lichcraft. If you haven't backed Lichcraft yet, go back it. What is Lichcraft? An RPG zine about trans people waiting in so long for healthcare that they decide to become liches. If you've ever had to wait for healthcare, if you've ever been unable to access healthcare, if you've ever thought, man, I'm going to be dead before I get healthcare, this might be a game for you. It's about the inadequacies of public health in different parts of the world, and I would say actually pretty much every part of the world. Every part of the world has major issues with their public health system, whether that's because of privatization or because of socialization or every mix in between. And so I love some of the themes that this hits on just on a human level. I'm a huge fan of Laurie O'Connell. We're going to be we're going to have 83 copies of Laurie's Hieronymus game in our store. She's done a phenomenal job with that game, but we're going to have those in our store in a couple of months, along with our game Beards and Beyond, and hopefully some really awesome, super extended, massively beefed up copies of Repugnant. But if you haven't checked out Lichcraft yet, go check out Lichcraft. It's only got 17 hours left to go. It's a phenomenal little system. I need to actually go back it myself, apparently. Yeah, that's all we got. This has been Zinequesting. We're going to listen to some music by Bats on the way out. You know what? This is the first time in a long time I don't have to do extra. Tomorrow I'm just Zinequesting. I'm just hanging out with you guys tomorrow afternoon. So if you got more projects, let me know. We're going to talk about more of them tomorrow. Probably be about 3 o'clock. On Friday, because it's Wednesday right now, on Friday, we are going to be playing Blackout. It's a DCC Stranger Things feeling high school level age characters Zero Quest. Level 0 quest in DCC. I'm super hyped for it. I'm very excited about the player set we have on that also too. We've got my friend Kelly, my friend Daniel, my friend Egg from my friend Egg Hunter from also known as Katya from Sweden is going to be joining us for that one also too. Come watch us die, like lots of death on that one because it's a level 0 funnel adventure. And then after that, we're taking Saturday. Saturday's just easy chill for us also too. Sunday night, we are going to be playing Beards and Beyond, my game from Zine Quest 2. It'll be one of the first few public plays of it. We've done a couple other ones, but it's going to be the very first ever campaign play of Beards and Beyond. You can find this and everything we do at +1exp.com. But we've got my friend Carlina Parker, my friend Alex, and my friend Gary, as long as his house is all repaired. We're going to be doing our 0 session. So we're going to be doing character creation and just a short little bit of play as they get sucked into the Whiskerverse. That'll be on Sunday night, and we'll do that once a month, every month until we decide not to anymore, or we start playing another game. If you're somebody out there who loves solo games too, I would love somebody to just start coming on our channel and doing solo games. Like, the world needs more love for solo games. Solo game people need more love. Not because they're alone. They are, because that's why they're playing solo RPGs. Because solo RPGs are phenomenal, and there's so many cool things that you can do with them. And I've been thinking a lot about, like, how do you take solo RPGs and make them connect to potentially larger sessions. And so like between the sessions that you get together to play, you have some solo RPG prompts that let you keep on playing the game. And that when you come back, what you've done in that solo RPG matters to the main play. And I would love to know if somebody's done that. And if nobody's done that, I would love to know who would like to do that. Maybe with me, maybe on their own. But a game that mixes communal play on an ongoing basis with solo RPG reflections between sessions. Because I just think that sounds really fun. It means the play never really has to stop. Like we can just keep on playing with each other. And I just think that'd be a blast. Let's keep on playing. With that said, don't forget $28, 28 days. Go out there and back anybody, everybody that you can, as much as your budget allows, for $1. Then share it on social media. Let everybody know that they should be out there supporting games. I just saw Elizabeth had just followed me a couple minutes ago. Your game closed already, Elizabeth, right? That's all right. We're done. I'm going to take us out. We're going to put up some music from Bats. We're just going to jam out for a little while.